Hello, BookTube. I've got a wee bit of mail for you today to keep our streak alive, but this is Saturday mail, so we mustn't expect much for tomorrow. We have 3 packages here, and one of them is a box, so that's good. Let's see what we have here. Of course, the pull tab fails. That was like the 3rd video that I made on this channel where I pulled a pull tab on a book package and it failed. So that's been a long time, 6 years, of them constantly failing. Oh, okay, great. All right, this is a finished copy for the 1st of November. This is How Do We Know Ourselves? Curiosities and Marvels of the Human Mind by David Myers. We can read a little bit about this for those of you who didn't catch it the first time. Almost anyone who studies psychology today has read Freud's Civilization and Its Discontents, or Kahneman's Thinking Fast and Slow. Can you imagine those 2 books being put on the same pedestal? But possibly even more have read David Myers. His psychology textbooks have sold more than 8 million English-language copies worldwide, with an estimated 25 million global readers. Good Lord, the writers of the textbooks. In addition to his own pioneering research in psychological science, the author is widely regarded as one of the field's, or any scientific field's, greatest living communicators. And in this, you will learn, among other things, why sitting at a wobbly desk or chair can make others' relationships seem less stable, why going for a walk can increase rapport and empathy, why we so often mishear song lyrics, why 2 strangers find each other gradually more attractive as they continue interacting, how the color of Obama's suits aided his decision-making, etc., etc. I have already read this. I've read this since we got the advanced copy. It's quite delightful. The author is a very good science communicator, so how are we going to work out the ergonomics here? So that's one. That's popular science. Keep in mind, we have Nonfiction November coming up. Perfect candidate for that. Okay, this next one is also a finished copy. That's great. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right, this is the 3rd copy of this book that I've received. Is this also in November? Yeah, this is also November 1st. This is Tutankhamuns Trumpet by Toby Wilkinson, the author of a couple of really good books on ancient Egypt. This is a study of how much we can learn about Tutankhamun and his reign, his administration, his time period, by the things that were buried in his tomb. Let's see here. In this beautifully illustrated work, it's a heavy book because it's got illustrations all throughout. Renowned Egyptologist Toby Wilkinson breathes new life into 100 artifacts from the boy king's tomb, allowing them to speak again, not only for themselves, but as witnesses of the civilization that created them. So, this comes out on the 1st of November. This is the finished copy. Very glad to have it. And once again, it's perfect for Nonfiction November. I've also read this since the last time we got 2 readers' copies. And it's terrifically good. Just immediately engaging. So if you're interested in ancient Egypt, or if you would like to be, it's perfect for people who love the subject already. And it's also perfect for people who want an entry point. I might be able to understand why some of the bigger, more comprehensive volumes that Toby Wilkinson wrote might not be that, might intimidate. They shouldn't. He's a really inviting writer, but this book doesn't intimidate at all. And then we have the box. So I'm hoping that this is a finished copy as well. And is it possible that this will also be a 3rd Nonfiction November? Possibility. A nonfiction work coming out in November would be great. What have we got here? Oh, fantastic. Yep, this is also November. So you could read all 3 of these for Nonfiction November. This is the finished copy of Paul Fisher's new book on John Singer Sargent, one of the greatest portrait painters of all time. This is called The Grand Affair, John Singer Sargent in His World. I just love the cover choice here. Ordinarily, I rail against black and white photos for covers of biographies or especially histories. But this is fantastic. The thing that's going on in this photograph is just incredible. Here he is painting one of his most famous portraits of a mother and daughter, and there they are in the background. There they are smiling. They are famously not smiling in the portrait. The portrait is in the foreground, and right up front is Sargent, but he's the only thing that isn't in clear focus, even though he's the painter. Wonderful, wonderful choice. So let's read a little bit about this for those of you who might have missed it the first time. This is a groundbreaking new biography of a brilliant painter and a page-turning exploration of an epical time in art history. A great American artist, John Singer Sargent is also an abiding mystery. He scandalized viewers on both sides of the Atlantic with the frankness and sensuality of his work, while dressing like a businessman and crafting a highly respectable persona. He charmed the possessors of new money and old, while reserving his greatest sympathies for Bedouins. Spanish Dancers, and The Gondoliers of Venice. At the height of his renown in Britain and America, he quit his lucrative portrait painting career to concentrate on allegorical murals with religious themes and on nude drawings of male models that he kept to himself. So this is just delightful. I can't wait. This is one of the three that I haven't got to yet. It's kind of amazing because it interests me more than the other two. But now that I have the finished copy, that will be the kick in the pants that I need. So we have 3 Nonfiction November possibilities. John Singer Sargent in His World, The Grand Affair. We have Tutankhamuns Trumpet. All that we can learn about King Tut's personality, his reign, his time, from the things that it was thought important enough to bury with him. And finally, How Do We Know Ourselves? A kind of slightly breezy overview of how the human brain works. Some aspects of how the human brain works, but very much for the layman. Great. So that's fantastic. 3 nonfiction picks, and one of them, as is often true with my mail hauls, goes straight onto my TBR. The John Singer Sargent book really needs to be read with pencil in hand tonight. Just in thoroughgoing detail. I have read quite a bit about this artist, and I know a lot about him as well, so it'll be a fascinating time. That's great. That goes right on the list for tonight. So that's it. That's the mail for this sunny, wonderful Saturday. Wonderful walks with the bean outside, nice and crisp and clear, 75 degrees, so there's no possibility of getting chilled or anything like that. Just absolutely delightful. We've run across a lot of dogs, which has been great for me. I love it. I love meeting my people and smooching with them. My baby, not so much. Not so much. She sees a dog and tends to tell me, let's just go on. They look like a loser. I always have to tell her, baby, none of them are losers. That's just the way you're looking at it. That's all. But I'm not sure that any late mail will come today. So our streak of mail might end tomorrow. We shall see. I'll find something else to talk about. Thank you, BookTube.